Chapter 5 of The Great Gatsby, explained by me, Miss Scott. In today's chapter, we're going to talk about when you finally see your ex again, and it's so awkward. In a move that everyone, saw coming. Nick agrees to help Gatsby re-see Daisy at his house. So, he invites Daisy to tea, and Gatsby puts on the biggest pomp and circumstance you have ever seen. There's something rather symbolically perfect about it raining the day Daisy comes to Nick's, by the way. When they re-see each other, it is awkward. Painfully awkward. Broken clock awkward. Nick votes that he's disappearing for a while, goes stand outside in the rain for an hour, and comes back to a beautifully emotional reunion of happy faces, giggling, soft happy. Then Gatsby shows off his beautiful mansion to Daisy. And well, I'll let you pick the perfect song for next Tuesday. But let's just say there are a lot of shirts. So we go from cringe to cute to concerning very quickly in this chapter. And we also really dig into the green light with this chapter. He shows Daisy that she lives across the bay, and he has stared at that green light, thinking over and over and over again how much it would be great to see her again. So Gatsby proves he's worthy of her now. He has the money for her now. But the problem is Gatsby's not in love with Daisy. He's in love with the idea of Daisy, the memory of Daisy, what he wants Daisy to be. Daisy isn't that girl anymore. It's been 5 years. But Gatsby can't let go. He won't let go. So, old sport, Gatsby hasn't learned yet that you can't recreate the past. And he is trying like hell to make it happen. For now, we'll understand that the green light can partially symbolize Daisy, because he stared at it for so long, and it is literally his hope frozen in time, not really her, if that makes sense. And as far as Gatsby, you can tell he's in love with the idea of being in love with Daisy. He's not in love with Daisy, because he doesn't know this Daisy. He knows 18-year-old Daisy. There should be a huge difference between an 18-year-old and a 23-year-old, especially one with a kid who's 3 years old already. But we'll see what this means for Gatsby and Daisy, their love, old or new, as the rest of this book goes. Now, can I be real a second? If you're still struggling to understand Gatsby, there are a couple things you can do. Crash Course from YouTube is a really great explainer of all things Gatsby, but it's going to have spoilers. So if you're really kind of getting invested in the book, I'd wait until the end. Second, you got to lock in. You just do. I know it's wordy. F. Scott Fitzgerald and the 1920s were a very wordy time. It's okay. And there's some words in there that you don't know, or haven't ever heard of, or haven't heard ever other than maybe once or twice. I get it. Productive struggle is okay. You've got to push through. Because if you can push through, the reward at the end is nice. And you can understand a real nice nuance of an author looking at the world around him, creating a fake world that is so very real, and showcasing the world's problems. But Miss Scott, that's what they do now. Yes, you're 100% right. That's the whole point. That's why we read classic lit. Because A, the more we'd like to pretend that the world doesn't repeat itself, it does. And secondly, when you actually can understand some of that stuff, it really does help kind of broaden your understanding of some of the books. Think of any book you've read that lately that shows people being careless and what it costs everybody else around them. Think about anything you've read that can allude to the struggles of the American dream, and so much more. All of this, in a lot of ways, can honestly be drawn in a straight line to a book like The Great Gatsby. That's why we read classic lit, y'all. So, hunker in. We're already about halfway done with the book now. And that means that we're now on the very quick downhill, and you know how fast things go. Well, we're not quite on downhill. That happens in chapter 7. So, buckle up, buckaroos.